Hello, it's Frank Tricarico. Well, Frankie Safi again, here for update number 4. Irene, I've been doing an average of 1 to 2 updates a day. These updates will obviously be of what's on the computer for the first few days now, but I will be doing a lot more live footage, and then at the end of the storm, hopefully compile all the images together to, have one whole video on the detailed how the storm is. But let's start this video by updating everybody. I'm sure everybody who's following these videos has some idea of what's going on. But this is the 11 p.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. The pressure just reported from the Hurricane Hunter at 11 p.m. has dropped to 942. And it's dropped 4 millibars in the last few hours, and that's a sign of a very intense storm. It's a very large storm. This is like a 1 in 50 chance. This is how powerful this storm is. It's got the track that most storms never take. It has increasing intensity as it draws to the coast. Now, obviously, it's supposed to weaken as it heads up the coast, but the more intense it gets, the more intense it will be up here, even though it's going to be weakening. Another huge factor is this storm is moving pretty damn slow for this area. The Northeast usually experiences something within a half a day, and by the end of the day, it's gone. This hurricane is so large and moving at a slower pace than most other hurricanes that the actual system is also rare in its intensity, in its movement, in every aspect of this storm. Now, this storm is, everybody's trying not to sound like they're overreacting, but unfortunately, this storm is going to be major. Now, a lot of people ignore the fact that it's just going to be a Category 1, Category 2 when it makes landfall in New England. However, the largeness of the system, how slow it's moving, will still produce 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Now, this is if it makes landfall as a Cat 1. If Cat 2, anything goes in that case. But the storm surge and flooding is also a factor. And also where it's hitting. It's hitting an area that's so heavily populated. So anyway, as of 11 p.m., the winds are still steady at 115. They're expected to increase as the hurricane moves north towards North Carolina. It could reach 135, which is just below Category 4 strength, but most likely staying in Category 3, which is a major hurricane. Now, the latest models, and I'm going to show you some of the models here for Irene, the 12 p.m. track of the GFS, which actually a lot of the models have been pointing towards, show, and I will show you real quick as I've been doing, a very intense Irene. Here is the location about a few hours from now. It will be parallel to the middle of Florida, basically. And here we add the precipitation. Now, as you can tell, it's still heading a pretty due north position. At this point, it's becoming a very large Category 3 hurricane as we see it approach the North Carolina coast. Now, this is where this model is differing a little bit away from the current path, which actually brings it a little closer to the shore and brings it over western Long Island. This model has it brushing, and I'll show you, brushing the Outer Banks, barely making landfall. It should make landfall right at the extreme tip of the Outer Banks, then slowly moving off the coast. Now it's going to be, see where the center of circulation is? Off the coast. This is a very bad sign for those of you in New England. Now, the longer it stays off the coast, the stronger it will be as it impacts the area. This has the storm making landfall somewhere in central Suffolk County, and I know it's very blurred, but this is basically central Suffolk County here. This is Suffolk County stretching out Montauk Point and everything. It's very hard to see because it's an inaccurate scale here, but this is about where the center of circulation is. This is just south of Fire Island, and I don't know the pressure in the center here, but this bar appears to be 978 coming around, and I believe they move in 10 fashion, so it would be 968 pressure. That's not the center pressure, this is just the outside of the eye pressure, which is a very powerful hurricane. This could be a Category 2 at this point, according to this model, or a very strong Category 1. But as you can see, it goes right into New England, wrapping around intense rainfall, heavy winds, and as it moves through New England, still remaining a hurricane, probably up until it enters New Hampshire and Vermont. Now let me show you one more model before I go, this one is the European model, the other model that I've been following here, and this is the 7 p.m. model run. We'll have to wait till 7 a.m. to get another one, but let's see what this says. This brings it closer to the coast, probably making landfall, but this one's starting to be more in agreement that it's going to remain off the coast as well. A few of the models later this yesterday afternoon were bringing it more inland, preventing, well, being a little more hazardous to the metropolitan cities, but preventing strengthening as it went north. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a major storm, major hurricane by the time it gets to New England, but I would say a Category 2, strong Category 1 is a major storm for the Northeast, and the size of everything. This is just really bad. Both models are pretty good in consensus as bringing the storm just off the coast of North Carolina, brushing the Outer Banks, keeping it just offshore of the Delmarva Peninsula, Delaware, and the Jersey Shore. Both models now bringing it through central Long Island, pretty much, right dead center. Obviously, the strongest winds on the east side, but if it stays over water, it will possibly be a Category 2 by the time it reaches the Northeast with winds over 100 miles an hour. So we've got to keep an eye on this storm. I will update you guys tomorrow, midday. And as the storm approaches, I will hope to have some more live video for you guys from my area. I just explained something. I live in central Long Island, and I've been following this storm for the last 3 or 4 days now. And I'm getting more and more concerned by the moment. So please, if you live in anywhere along the eastern seaboard, and there are millions upon millions of people who do, take heed to this storm, even if you're not passing through the center of the storm. That's Frankie Savvy, and I'm out for now.